मेधां मे इन्द्रो ददातु मेधां देवी सरस्वती मेधां मे अश्विनाभव आगतां पुष्करसदा Hearty fraternal greetings and good wishes to all the brothers and the sisters. We have arrived at the last session of teaching for this group life. And we are into the energies of Cancer as I have been stating from day before yesterday. Sun entering into Cancer is marked by the birth of soul into the variety of forms. The gates of Cancer are wide open for souls to incarnate into varieties of forms, thereby building varieties of personalities. The scriptures say, while the gates of Cancer are wide open, which are the entry doors for the souls into the world, the exit door in Capricorn, the exit of the soul from the world into higher circles through ascension, those doors are very narrow. The doors for incoming souls is wide open. The doors for return are very narrow. This is how astrology speaks of Cancer and Capricorn. When the doors are wide open, it means it forms an inverted triangle, like a funnel. Many can come from many sources into life, into the world. And when the experience in the world is found enough for the soul, and when the soul intends to return, it has to go through a very narrow path where the door is like this. with a triangle with the apex upwards. And the whole game is entering into and exiting from. The double triangle is therefore given as a great symbol in all theologies. One is for involution, the other is for evolution. One is for entry into the play field. For those who know, it is a play field, a field to perform, a field to ritualistically work and get the needed joy, and then thereafter retreat from the field, play field. So therefore the entry is easy, the exit is not so easy as regards the play field is concerned, which is also called a field of action. When you are in the play field, you have to be active. There is no game where a player can be inactive. You have to be active, you have to be swift, you have to make right moves, and you need to make a move forward. I am sure most of the members must be seeing in the evenings the football game that is being played for the championship. Every player works hard to move forward and to defend himself and defend anything moving in. Every game has the same philosophy. That's why understanding a game understands the game of life. One can understand the game of life. And those who do shirk or shy away from getting into the field of action, they do not either have experience nor the needed evolution. Therefore, Cancer is a celebration in the sense that all people joyfully enter into the football court. When the players come in, very joyfully they come in. In the same manner, the souls joyfully enter into the field of action, which can be a play if you know how to play. If you have the knowledge of action, it's a play. If you don't have the knowledge of action, it's a conflict, it's a problem, and we are stuck with it. And therefore the knowledge is how to act, when to act, where to act, how not to act, where not to act, how not to act. So this knowledge is the basic knowledge. One gains as one enters. Nevertheless, Cancer provides an opportunity for souls to fulfill the wonder of earthly existence. Even the Devas cherish to take to human, live here and complete their experience. Because the human form enables them to simultaneously experience all the 7 planes. The Devas cannot experience the lower planes, they cannot touch down. And the animals cannot ascend. Man is the only one who can get into the lower planes and also the higher planes, and he can also be a bridge through whom the higher energies can be transmitted into the lower circles, and the lower energies can be enabled to transcend into higher circles. That's where man is seen a privileged being in creation from the standpoint of the whole scheme of creation. But man, when he turns ignorant, he becomes a bottleneck for the whole creational process. And he being he representing the fourth kingdom, he blocks the higher to descend into the lower, and the lower to ascend into higher. He blocks the whole scheme of things when he tends to be ignorant. It is therefore imperative that the humans gain the knowledge, and their pivotal placement in the scheme of things, and make sure that they are able to channelize from the three higher circles into them the energies, and appropriately transmit these energies into the three lower kingdoms, receiving the plan from three higher circles, transmitting the plan through execution into the three lower kingdoms, makes a man a complete man. His work is to receive from above and to transmit into the surroundings. So therefore he has to develop a personality which enables the work to happen. Every son of God remains to be a son of God only to conduct the divine plan upon earth. That is the goal set for all humanity. The goal for humanity is to cooperate with the hierarchy and transform themselves to be members that participate in the plan that is being executed by the hierarchy. The plan is known when one becomes a member of hierarchy. Until then the plan is not known, but it can be followed by following the hierarchy. Following the hierarchy implicitly means following the teachings of the hierarchy. And that is what we do in every group life, that we recollect to ourselves the teachings of the hierarchy, thereby organize ourselves in a manner that we cooperate with the higher ones, so that our personality cooperates with us. If you follow your elder brother, your younger brother follows you. If you don't follow your elder brother, your younger brother draws an example from you, and he also does not follow. The personality to follow the soul has to relate to the super soul. This is how the CES have set the order of priority. We cannot ourselves seek cooperation from personality. Seeking cooperation is ignorance. Offering cooperation is knowledge. Everyone seeks cooperation from the others. Instead of seeking cooperation from the others, why can't we step forward and cooperate with others? Why can't we make the first move to cooperate? If you cooperate, the others cooperate. If you follow your elder brother, if you cooperate with your elder brother, your younger brother cooperates with you. But if you insist upon your younger brother cooperating with you, without your cooperating with your elder brother, you don't get it. That's how men are not able to, even the aspirants are not able to handle their personalities. What is the real problem for every human being? There is no problem outside himself. The problem is within himself, that is his personality. Everyone creates a garden of Eden or a forest of ferocious animals according to the personality that he builds. So the personality can be wild, but doesn't matter. But if you cooperate with the super soul, slowly your vehicle, your personality cooperates with you. This is how, instead of fighting to set the personality right, better follow the higher ones. Your association with the higher ones would enable the necessary energies to percolate into your personality, and the personality is set into order. This theme is given even while one is entering into the forms. This theme of you associating with your superior or super soul and being with the personality, this dimension is given even while we enter into Cancer, meaning enter into form. And our entering into Cancer every year, we should recollect the related methodology, the related theology, the related story. As I have been saying yesterday, sun enters into the house of moon, isn't it? Sun enters into the house of moon. That's what we call the month of Cancer. As he enters, moon is your personality. You should know that moon in Cancer, when you make an entry as sun, you are meeting your personality. Your personality is represented by the moon. Moon carries the sum and essence of your past abilities and limitations. In each one of us, there are certain abilities and certain limitations. When we associate with the moon, all those abilities and limitations keep expressing. And what we seek is a better personality. A better personality for a better performance. For that, what is needed is you also bring along with you the energies of Jupiter. Jupiter is the teacher. Jupiter is the teacher. When you bring along with you the teacher and you together would make an excellent triangle with your personality. If you remain with your teacher and relate to your personality would eventually, gradually, and even willingly fall in tune with your plan and the plan of the teacher. That's why in Cancer, Jupiter is said to be exalted. Astrology says things, but we should try to know why it is said so. Cancer, Jupiter is exalted, moon, own house, all this is known to many. But why should it be so? Why Jupiter is exalted in Cancer? His position is an exalted position at all times, being a teacher. And his need is much more when you are meeting with our personality. We meet our personality as we enter into a form. The moment we are into the form, our personality takes over or even overtakes us. We wish to behave in a particular way in accordance with the teachings. When it comes to actual working, the nature comes out much more than the soul quality. We don't wish to speak more, but we do speak more in a given event. We don't wish to spread conflict, but we keep spreading conflict through our speeches and through our actions. We want to be cordial with all and therefore invite all to the group life, but we are not as cordial to everyone as we should be. Why is it happening? All this happens because the personality is the dominant fact. Each one of us is dominated by the lady in him. This is how the lady domination generates more and more conflict around. It's not the lady outside. It's the lady within the lady or the man. The soul and the personality are the true man and wife. The soul and the personality are the true man and wife. So your wife is your personality and it keeps troubling you. It keeps troubling you because it is not set in harmony. It is what you have prepared through your ignorance over years, over incarnations. That's why in astrology we say moon represents your past. Moon represents your past, and that is what you come along with you. That is what you bring with you. Whatever you have done in the past, you bring it along, and it is what opens to you as your nature. Therefore, over incarnations and incarnations, which are numerous, out of ignorant behavior, when we have developed a kind of personality which is very troublesome to us, we cannot meet it and solve it because it is stronger than us. It is stronger than us. So what are we to do? We need to associate with the strongest one. The one who can modulate and set in order any kind of energy. Kind of irregular energy can be set right in the presence of Jupiter. Associating with Jupiter means associating with a teacher of wisdom. When you associate with a teacher of wisdom, and when that association tends to be consistent, continuous, then slowly the energies of the teacher flow through you and set right the personality. That's where the relevance of teacher is. What you cannot handle by yourself, you are enabled to handle by the association with the teacher. The energies of teacher reinforce you with the right approach towards personality, and slowly the personality sets itself into an order and cooperates with you. That's why your personality cooperating with you is directly proportionate to your cooperating with your teacher. That's how it is given in the scriptures. Therefore, when we come to Cancer, inevitably we think of the teacher. Cancer means the association with the personality is inevitable. But associating with the teacher is the effort that we have to make. The more you associate with the teacher and pledge your association with the teacher of wisdom, the more you are reinforced to set your personality right and then travel along to fulfill yourself. That is the reason why in the Vedic system, the month of Cancer is said to be the month of the teacher. The full moon of Cancer is said to be the full moon of the teacher. We call it Guru Purnima, and it is extremely well celebrated, and all aspirants pledge their cooperation with their teacher. They make a fresh pledge. They seek to relate to their teacher much more firmly, so that the energies of teacher are established with him, and when the two are together, the third angle sets itself right. In a triangle, when two angles are equal, the third is set right. When the two angles become 60 degrees each, the third angle has to be necessarily of 60 degrees. Therefore, the importance of teacher is very well known in India, and to them the teacher is much more than even the God himself, because he is verily God in the form of a teacher of wisdom available to you through the hierarchy. Therefore, this associating with the teacher is given great importance. Each one of us is a son. As souls, we are sons. And the moon that we carry is the sum total of our past experiences, the related abilities and disabilities. That is moon. Ascendant tells you the program for this life. So when we know the situation of our moon, nobody needs to tell us what our personality is. If we look into, we see how many are our abilities, how many are our disabilities, and how to set the disabilities, transform them into abilities. All this is possible when you relate to the teacher. Relating to the teacher is very well described in the Upanishads, especially in Taittiriya Upanishad. You cannot relate to a teacher unless you relate to the teaching of the teacher. It is so simple as that. He cannot relate to any teacher until you relate to the teaching of the teacher. Acharya Purva Rupam Antevas Yuktara Rupam Vidya Sandhi Pravachanagum Sandhanam Ityadhi Vidyam. This is how Taittiriya Upanishad speaks. The former one is the teacher, the latter one is the student. The teacher and the student, their energies find a bridge for inter-transmission. From one to the other, there would be a good flow of energy in a two-way manner only when the student follows the teaching that has come from the teacher. Vidya Sandhi. The bridging is by the teaching. As long as the students follows the teaching, the bridge remains. The moment the student stops following the teaching, the bridge disappears, and the student is no more connected to the teacher. To stay connected to a master of wisdom, it is but important that you implement the teachings that are given by the master in your daily life. When that is not done, just your emotional association from time to time with a teacher does not build the bridge for causing the needed transmission of energies from the teacher to the student. That's how it is said. Therefore, we come to three planets in Cancer: the Sun, the Moon, and the Jupiter. That's the triangle. When you associate only with Moon, you are only associating with your personality, and it handles you. Even before you handle it, it handles you. That's the beauty of the lady or the nature. The nature cooperates with you when you are attuned to the source of the nature, master of the nature. The master of the nature is the Lord Himself. It is from the Lord there is the emergence of the primordial nature, and from out of that primordial nature an eightfold nature emerges. From the light, which we call Aditi, there are the successive formations of light with the help of three qualities. With the help of three qualities, it builds 5 elements. So 3 plus 5, 8 are the layers of the nature. The original nature being the light are the 9th one. And you come from the divine, who is the 10th one, as his son. And if you are to relate to nature, if you relate to the Father, the nature relates to you. If you want someone to oblige you, you should know whom that someone obliges. You understand this? If you want someone to oblige you, you should know whom that person obliges. You build friendship with him, and by association with him, whom the nature obliges. Just because you are close to him, the nature also tends to be close and cooperative with you. A master of wisdom is one who has realized in him the 10th one, or who in these parts is called the Father, or the other name for him is that. A master of wisdom is one who has realized that. He realized that and remains as that I am. Having realized that, he remains as that I am. And each one of us is I am. Each one of us is I am. The teacher who has realized himself knows the way to link up to that, to recollect that I am. To recollect that I am. So therefore, when you meet a teacher, he gives the technique of relating to that. So that a bridge is built between you and the Father. When the bridge is built between you and the Father, the Holy Ghost cooperates with you. This is the simple way of presenting it. It is called Holy Ghost. In saying it as Holy Ghost, there is a deeper meaning. It is a ghost, but it is holy. When you relate to the Father, it becomes a holy ghost. If you don't relate to the Father, it remains a ghost. Our personalities are our ghosts, and those ghosts put us into shadows. We live in between light and shadow all the time because the ghost has not turned out to be holy ghost. It becomes holy when you are with the Father. How do you relate to the Father? The teacher tells you the technique how to relate to the Father. He comes and tells you that in your own heart there is the trumpeting of the heart as that I am, that I am, that I am, that I am. Soham, 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 soham. The very mantra relating to teacher is Hamsa Siva Soham, isn't it? We think we have done our job when we put it on the Vaishak newsletter. On the cover page of Vaishak newsletter, the very essence of the whole wisdom is given, but nobody bothers about it. Hamsa Siva Soham. Aham Saha, I am that. That is auspicious. Siva means that is the most auspicious thing. Aham Saha, Saha Aham is Soham. So the teacher sings the song of Hamsasiva Soham. Remember that you are that and that only exists as you. You are no other than that. It is that came to be as this. So that I am, that I am, that I am, that I am. It is such a straight way of relating to the Father or the God or the 10th one. That I am, that I am, that I am, that I am, that I. The more and more you relate to it, and the beauty is it is happening in the heart. Whether you relate to it or you don't relate to it, it is happening in the heart. Each one of us. The very pulsating principle which is called the heart principle, it's ever happening. And it is ever trumpeting that I am, that I am, that I am. Soham, 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 soham. If you listen to the sound of inhalation and exhalation, this you know because many times it is taught. As you breathe in, it is so. You can listen to the sound so. It is natural. As you breathe out, you listen to the sound hum. Soham, soham, soham. Even while your mind is busy with thousands of things, the heart continues to sing this song, which is called the swan song. Hamsas, the song of the swan is Soham. The swan itself is called Hamsa. Swan in Sanskrit is Hamsa. The Hamsa sings this song of Soham. The bird in you, which is pulsating principle, it is regularly, day and night, singing the song of Soham. It's a direct connection to the Father. Soham, Saha, Aham. That I am, that I am. That is represented in terms of astrology as Jupiter. Jupiter is on the top of the head, and you are in Cancer in the heart. Your moon is in solar plexus. So relate to that. As much as you relate to that, slowly the energies that descend would be magnetizing the personality. Therefore, working with personality cannot be a huge problem if you know the key. Regularly relating to it and standing in that relation throughout the day. Standing in relation throughout the day is important. It's not me that is moving, it is that as I am moving. Without that, I am is not in existence. Without ocean, the wave is not in existence. Wave does not exist without ocean. So oceanic consciousness is existing as individual consciousness. The ocean expresses as the wave, and verily the essence of the wave is ocean only. But then when we do not recollect this connection with the oceanic consciousness, we tend to be engulfed by, not engulfed but engulfed, gulping. The personality gulps the soul and behaves funny. It acts according to its own previous behavior nature, as per its behavioral nature. Just like when the class is over, there is a compulsion that the personalities start speaking. Isn't it? The moment a class is over or a prayer is over, there would be such a sound, noise in the hall. Who is it that is doing? The personality. Because it is uncomfortable without speech. It is accustomed to speak so much The human personalities are endowed with the ability to speak. So they have to speak. They cannot but speak. So immediately it springs into action. Why? Because we forget that I am. So when you firm up the relation between that and I am, then the personality will naturally find its alignment with you. Don't think that the personality should align with soul. The personality by itself does not align with the soul. When you align with the super soul, the personality falls into order. The key to personality falling into order, getting into harmony, is when you relate to the headlight. Headlight means the light in the head, isn't it? Till recently we never had headlights. We were only having other lights. But now we have a headlight. This is how very, in a lighter way, Master Jwalkul says, now that humanity has invented electricity, they should be able to realize the soul. There is a relation. Because it's a light coming from above. It's not light coming from a wax candle or some kind of oil candle. It's coming from above. So when you relate to the light in the head, regularly you shine forth, in that light the personality loses its shades. Otherwise the personality can be a ghost house. It can be a phantom house. It can be full of so many dangerous things in it. All the zodiacal signs have so many animals in it. Starting with the wild horse of Aries, the strong bull of Taurus, the inconsistency of Gemini, the emotions of Cancer, the hard nut of Virgo, intellect, hard nut. Mercury in Gemini is one thing, Mercury in Virgo is another thing. Virgo Mercury tends to be an intellectual. It is a hard nut, it has to be broken somewhere. And the passion of Libra. And imagine the scorpions and the snakes of Scorpio. All these are there in each one of us in our personalities. We are ready to sting through our speech. Where at once our tongue can be a serpentine tongue, And there is a double tongue. We speak one thing before, we speak something else behind. That is double tongue. So all these are there in the personality. But once the light shines forth, all these beings, they lose their negative aspect and tend to be positive. The poison of Scorpio turns out to be the power of Mars. The Martian power can help you to reach great heights. The Martian power can also put you to a lot of conflicts, disputes, fights, and so on. So therefore, relating to Jupiter is the message in Cancer. And they say Jupiter is exalted in Cancer, while Moon is its house. We need to work. We should see not only the Moon of Cancer, we should see the Jupiter of Cancer. When you relate to Jupiter, the Moon behaves well. When the soul relates to Jupiter, the lady, in-house lady, behaves well. Otherwise, the in-house lady puts the native to a lot of suffering. The house belongs to the lady, isn't it? Not to the man. The beauty of a house reveals the beauty of the lady of the house. Traditionally, we know, if you see a house, you can very easily say what is the nature of the lady in that house. Because the house is set by the lady. The house is organized by the lady. The house is kept clean, neat, vibrant, fragrant by the lady. But if the lady is otherwise, the house stinks. Many houses are in disorder. When you come home, do you feel comfortable or not comfortable? Meaning, when you are with your personality, are you comfortable or not comfortable? When we speak of the fourth house in Cancer, don't think your house of brick and mortar. Think of your personality. Your personality is the house in which you stay. It can be a prison house. It can be a decent house. It can as well be a temple. The personality, when it becomes a temple, it is called Solomon's temple. Why Solomon? Because the three sons work through it. Three suns. The planetary, the solar and the cosmic suns, they can work through a human personality. The masters of wisdom, they relate to the cosmic, the solar and planetary energies and bring forth the needed energies into the planetary system to help the beings. They are all the ones who built their personalities as Solomon temple. That means in them the Sahasrara, the Ajna and the Heart are fully active. Sahasrara relates to the cosmic sun center. Ajna relates to the solar sun center. Heart relates to the planetary sun center. Planetary sun center, solar sun center, or what we call the central sun, and there is the cosmic sun. When these three centers are actively at work, that the three suns are said to be at work, Solomon is said to be at work. Then the temple work is on. So for the temple work is to be on, we need to relate, we being the sun, planetary sun, we need to relate to the solar sun, which is in Ajna, and then the cosmic sun, which is in Sahasrara. Therefore, to set right one's own personality or behavioral nature, or to set right one's own home, or set the house as home, one needs regularly to relate to these three suns. Each one of us is a sun. When we say I am, it is sun. I am. Let it be that I am. Let it not be just I am. I am is weak to meet the personality. That I am is strong enough not only to meet but also to make excellent friendship, if not love, with the personality. There should be a loving understanding between personality and the soul, which can be developed by association with Jupiter. That is the simple message coming from Cancer. And then in Cancer, you have another dimension. The Jupiter, when you relate to Jupiter, he brings in two more energies he introduces two more energies into you, so that your personality is set into a vibrant temple. he brings in from the opposite sign Saturn. The first impact of Jupiter upon an aspirant, or the first impact of a teacher upon an aspirant is to introduce the energies of Saturn. This he does by bringing the complementary nature from Capricorn. Capricorn is the opposite sign of Cancer. What is opposite? Every opposition is but complementary. This you should remember. If you are opposed, it means it is your other side. It is the other side relating to you. You have to neutralize the opposition. It's not enough if we just note the sentence said by Pythagoras. We have to bring it into our life. We need to turn oppositions into complementary or friendly nature. The opposites are complementary. This is what Pythagoras says, isn't it? When two lines are cut across, the opposite angles are equal. So let every opposition be seen as the dimension which you require to gain. Then it becomes complementary. So the complementary aspect Jupiter brings for the native is to bring the Saturn, meaning he works on your dislikes, he works on your limitations, he works on your negative desires. What you don't want will come to you. He doesn't want you to suffer from negative desires. Negative desire. Many people say, I don't want this, I don't want this, I don't want this. By your saying, I don't want this, did they stop coming to you? We don't want ill health, but did it stop coming to you? We don't want financial problems, but don't they come to us? We don't want conflicts in the families, but don't they come to you? Your wanting or not wanting has no meaning. That you should know first. We want many things. Do they happen? Some happen, some don't happen. We don't want certain things, but don't they happen? Why live in these wants and don't wants? That is where the teacher of wisdom, when he intends training the students, he invokes Saturn, his other counterpart, Saturn is the counterpart to Jupiter, but they are friends. Though you may not be taught in astrology that they are friends, in spiritual astrology all this is there. How do you see the opposing planets in the science of astrology? Mars versus Venus, they say. But in spiritual astrology it is different. Jupiter versus Saturn, but in spiritual astrology it is different. It is different. It has to be different. Because in spirit all have to agree. They are only playing different roles. Therefore, if Jupiter sends an SMS to Saturn, immediately Saturn cooperates and enters into the life of the aspirant. Which is the first teaching we had in the initial years. It's all about Saturn, working with Saturn, the sound of Saturn, the number of Saturn. It's all Saturnian because Saturn eliminates the angles in us. It eliminates the habit of expectation. It eliminates the limitations. It imparts patience of very high order. Without patience, you don't gain even a millimeter on the path of light. Without patience, you can't gain a millimeter on the path of light. Please note this. And impatience is our civilization now. We are impatient about everything. If a customer is not found when we go to the breakfast counter, we are already impatient. All of it. There is no croissant. There is no croissant. If there is no croissant, there is bread. You can eat it and satisfy yourself. People are so anxious, so intolerant. This is what the civilization is tending us to be. I don't know if it is civilization or something else. The more and more you are civilized, the more and more you are impatient, intolerant. You don't want even a bird to chirp when you are sleeping because it's a disturbance to you. You can't tolerate a donkey singing a song when you are sleeping. But for your sake, the donkey will not stop. The master, on the contrary, arranges 2 donkeys over there. See, nature itself is a teacher, and if you have the Saturn coming nearer to you, he teaches you much more. He is the old man, according to the scriptures. He is the grand master. If you satisfy Saturn, you would satisfy every other planet. Meaning every other planetary principle in you. All other planetary principles fall into harmony when you are able to please Saturn. Saturn wants you to work hard. Saturn wants you to work without expectation. You need to do your duty, whether it yields result or not yields result. I would take medicine only if it cures. Does not work. Whether it cures or not, you have to take it. If your dear one is in the hospital, when you have a duty to attend to him, do you see your comfort? Whether he recovers or he does not recover, you must need to attend to him. He sets you on the clearance of the obligatory karma that you have. Saturn, the major clearance comes from Saturn. That's why each time Saturn comes nearer to your moon or to your sun or your ascendant, people are a bit shivering. They don't have to shiver. What is important is he has come nearer to cause a great clearance. He is a huge clearing agent. It's like coming home and clearing all your unnecessary stuff in the house. He visits, he clears and makes you clean. That's the first work. That's why in discipleship, Saturn is the first step. It is said to be a big step. Big step. That's why in India we have a temple on 7 hills, a 7 hills temple. The first hill is the most high one. If you are able to transcend that, the rest of it is joyful. The other 6 hills are joyful journey. The first step is this step. That's why for aspirants, the initial steps are much more difficult than the later steps. Why? Because the initial step imparts in you the needed tolerance and patience to bear with all other steps. The eligibility is according to the degree of tolerance and patience you entertain. What is the first commandment that God has given to Moses? Tolerance, isn't it? Who has tolerance these days? T for tolerance. Tolerance is just, the more and more you are educated, the more and more you lose it. What kind of education it is? What kind of education? That you cannot tolerate something which is not acceptable to your mind. And your mind is your personality. Therefore, the importance of Saturn is inevitable for discipleship. Some are born with tremendous patience. Can we say they are born lucky? It's not so. They worked it out in their past lives. Nothing comes to you without your working it out. If it is given free, you don't have its value. If you work for it and it accepts you, then you know its value. That's why rich men's children don't know the value of money. A man who earns every rupee knows its value, or every euro, or every dollar, or every franc. If you work for the very first dollar, you know the value of that dollar. If you are already born with $1 million in your account, set by your father, you are lucky. But do you have the value for it? Values in their depth are taught by Saturn. Saturn gives you the depth which no other planet can give. That's why the beginning is Saturn and the culmination is in Uranus. In the earlier ages, the culmination is in Jupiter, but now it is in Uranus. Jupiter itself is an expansive consciousness. But Uranus leads you even to space consciousness and beyond. It is Jupiter to Jupiter, Uranus. Coming back to the point, the aspirant who relates to the teacher would be entrusted to Saturn. Unless man accepts the working with Saturn, meaning unless one is able to accept the doctrine of acceptance. There is what is called the law of acceptance. When you learn the law of acceptance, you are in harmony. As nature gives, so I receive it. If nature does not give, I don't worry about it, is the attitude for law of acceptance. There are people who are worried that they don't have a good spouse, isn't it? Until they get a spouse, they are restless. After they get a spouse, they are much more restless. Is it? From restlessness to more restlessness. So did you gain, did you lose? Why are you restless when you don't have a spouse? If nature intends you get it, why can't you take in that dimension? Once a man did not find a girlfriend and much less a spouse. Girlfriend is the first step, no? Then the spouse happens. So he thought he should meditate. He meditated upon the Creator, the third Logos, the Creator. The Creator appeared and said, "What's your problem? You don't see our problems because you sit so high and your consort is always with you. The Creator has his lady all the time, so he has no problem." That's how he started talking. For the Creator, the mother of the intelligence of speech is the concept, Saraswati. You have always Saraswati with you, so you have no problem. But how about me? He asked. Then the Creator said, "Okay, if you so wish, I give you one." So he gave a lady. The man found a lady, and the Creator directed him, and he found. Then they married. He found that the lady is dumb. It's a dumb lady. So the man was not satisfied with the dumb lady. He again made a penance to the Creator. The Creator appeared and said, "What's the problem now?" He said, "You have a speaking lady and I don't have a speaking one but a dumb one. What is this justice? What is this justice that you have an ever speaking lady? She is Saraswati. She is our speech. And you give me a dumb one." Creator said, "You don't know what it is to have a speaking lady." Out of utmost compassion, I gave you a lady who is very silent. You are asking for trouble by asking for a speaking lady. I know what it is," he said. But nevertheless, he insisted that I should have a speaking lady. So he had this speaking lady. Once he had this speaking lady, slowly his blood pressure was going up more and more. So disturbing. So many things she wants. And so many insults she casts on him, on his inabilities. Every lady, once in a lifetime at least, thinks, "What a stupid I have as my husband." So she was speaking out everything. So then again he made a prayer to the Creator. The Creator appeared and asked, "What again is the problem?" Then he said, "Kindly make her dumb again." See, you are never satisfied with what is given. One is never satisfied with what is given. He always seeks what is not given. By seeking, he mostly seeks a problem. Man has the ability, the skill, the tact to ask for something that troubles him. He is already in trouble. By asking, he is in greater trouble. I tell many couples in India, if they don't have children, do not adopt artificial means to get children. If you don't have children, take it that the nature has not given that program to you. Be happy. When nature does not intend and you somehow wish to bring someone into your life, you are only bringing problems into your life. There are umpteen instances where they insisted that they should get children and they adopt artificial means. We have cases where after 12 years of marital life, the couple gave birth to a child who has his liver outside. This is that when you try to extract from nature, this is how you get it. I have a cousin who didn't get children for long years. He was insisting. He was asking me for remedial measures, prayers, techniques, all kinds of things, working with colors, sounds, symbols, blah, 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 blah. I told him one thing. See, if nature does not intend, better accept it. Because you don't know what you get. You don't know what you get. Not all children give us joy. Not all children can give us joy. There are many children who give their parents lot of sorrow, pain, insult, ignominy, so many things. So why do we, when it is not intended, why do we insist upon it? You do your job. If it is not forthcoming, leave it. But my cousin, he insisted, and he got a congenital sugar patient as his child. Lifelong program. By birth, his pancreas doesn't work. By birth. What a pain it is. So why I say these instances is, you may do your duty, but you do not insist upon things to happen. This is an aspect in discipleship. As nature offers, so you take it, then there is harmony. Saturn teaches it very well. Saturn teaches it very well. I know a person who did not want to get transferred on account of his birth, from one place to another. He wanted to be very much in that place. He came to me and said, I wish to be here for another 3 more years. It is very, very important for me to be here for 3 more years. I said, if you are so insisting, you get transfer within a month. If you wish to follow the master, accept the transfer and move. Don't insist. You don't know what is good for you. The change brings you better energies. Many times the changes that come to us in life, we do not immediately see their value. We see them much later. We all know the sentence coming from Master Maurya, who says, behind every problem there is a gift. Behind every problem there is a gift. Don't see the problem and suffer from it. There is a gift intended through that problem. Therefore, the law of acceptance is the great law that includes in it the law of patience, the law of tolerance. And that is what a teacher brings to his student. Out of love, not out of hatred. He would like his student, like his child, to grow strong in his psyche, to meet with any situation, to stand by every calamity, to meet crisis. The life of disciples, if you see, there are so many crises they had. It's not bed of roses or a path of roses. Anything is okay. That should be the status one should gain. No comfort, not seeking comfort, comfort or discomfort. You transcend above the dual. Loss or profit, stand above it. Pleasure or displeasure, stand above it. That's the work of Saturn. Teachings on Saturn we had many, I don't have to repeat them. But I am only reminding the importance of Saturn and the importance that the teacher feels in bringing in the energies of Saturn. On one side, he brings by opposition from Capricorn the Saturn. On the other side, he brings by trine from Scorpio the energies of Mars. He sets the aspirant to a program of consecration. A program of consecration. Consecration is an act of voluntarily binding oneself to a noble purpose. Voluntarily binding oneself to a noble purpose. A teacher sets a work for the student. As long as the student is consecrated to that work, all his forces relating to Mars, they continue to, the Martian energies are all supplied in single stream to the purpose, and the Mars will not do other damages. Mars by itself is a warring energy. It is ready to fight. The fighter in you, when you set him to a noble task, he fights for fulfilling the noble task. He is engaged totally with the noble task. Hence, he puts you to this consecration to a work. If you are around a teacher, and if you don't have, if you have not found the work relating to the teacher, know that you are not picked up for transformation. The work relating to the teacher shall have to be picked up as a sacred duty, consecrate towards it and work for it. Then all your energies are engaged in a single point program of transmutation of the cells of your body. If you are generally around and like a visitor, not involving into any work relating to any master of wisdom, only you are informing yourself will not set you to transformation. The process of transformation is conducted by Mars because it's a fiery planet. The energies of Mars are generally misused or abused in terms of irresponsible speeches, irresponsible indulgences into senses, and irresponsible sex acts and all. All that energy which is otherwise drained, they get focused into one single pointed noble program of working with respect to an aspect of teaching of a master of wisdom. Then your Mars is on a task and he is a warrior. The Mars, as an intelligence, it is called Kumara. He knows not defeat. He knows not defeat. If you let him loose, he will be a Cupid, god of desire. If you set him on task, he is a Kumara. And he leads you to the target. And in the process, he transforms. The transformations are on account of continuous application of Martian energy to a noble task. This is what is called consecration. A bull that is otherwise devastating and causing a lot of damage to the fields around, when it is threaded through the nose, yoked on the neck, put to cultivation, it does wonders. Isn't it? The bull, unregulated bullish energy is such a devastation. But you thread its nose, give a heavy job, which is the yoke on the neck, and put it to cultivation. Throughout life it cultivates so many fields. So we can't be unregulated bulls. Isn't it? Therefore, the consecration is the specific gift that Mars gives. And the teacher or Jupiter brings along a work of long-standing nature to a student and says, work with it. Long-standing work. Stay with it. You don't have to see whether it is a noble work or ignoble work or anything. Your job is to do that. In doing it regularly, the transmutation happens in you. By our aspiring for a golden body, the golden body does not come to us. By working with the power of Mars and with the patience of Saturn, you stand to gain it. That's what the teacher knows, therefore accordingly he puts you to work. Was not Blavatsky put to work? Was it a soft work? Was not Bailey put to work? Was not Masterike put to? All are put to work. Tell me, any disciple who is not put to loads of work. Not even donkeys can carry such loads. Such work is entrusted to be carried out. In the process, the consecration is complete. He is dedicated to the temple, that's all. So therefore, do you see Saturn and Mars as negative planets or positive planets? It all depends in which dimension you relate to them. In which dimension? So therefore, when we work with we start our work from Cancer, where we start building afresh our personalities in the solar year. Every year, from Cancer, there is a fresh opportunity to rebuild our personality or to cause it more gross. The energies are available. You can use for restructuring through consecration to your work and patience that the work imparts you, or just let it loose. If you let it loose, it will be a further wild growth. A further wild growth of personality. Seeing all these dimensions that Cancer inaugurates, the Masters of Wisdom suggested, rededicate yourself to the path of the hierarchy, to the path of a Master of Wisdom. Do that. And then pick up a work relating to a Master of Wisdom. Because his teachings give you enough indications what kind of work that you can pick up according to your inclination. If there is a teacher who can give you work, it is still the best. If the teacher is remote and you are relating to him through the teachings, better pick up something which is said in his teachings and start working with his inspiration. If you continuously do that, you also have the presence of the teacher because you are implementing the teachings of the teacher. So 5 planets come to play when we think of Cancer. What are they? You, the sun, the solar god in a miniature form. But we are solar gods in trouble. Troubled solar gods. You, the sun, your behavior, the moon, your teacher whom you cherish most is the Jupiter. And Jupiter's introduction of Saturn as patience and tolerance through the law of acceptance. And the teachers imparting work, entrusting work, and bringing in the energies of Mars. Saturn, Mars, Moon, Sun, Jupiter. This is the pentagon that we are to relate in Cancer. And we start afresh the game. The first quarter of the year is now succeeded by the second quarter of the year. It all depends how we conduct with these energies in the next 3 months, namely Leo, Virgo and Libra. If you retain the idea of that I am with you, you don't fall into individuality in Leo. Otherwise, the inevitable fall in Leo is high individuality. High individuality means very strong likes and dislikes. He lives in a box of defining everything. I don't like this. I don't want this. This kind of things. You fix yourself in a box and you tend to be a very separatist individual. Developing individuality, which is a stronger dimension of personality. It is from individuality to personality, personality to soul, soul to super soul. That is the order of ascent. The order of descent is super soul to soul, soul to personality, personality to individuality. So individualistic, every person is individualistic. Why did he tend to be so individualistic? The link with that is lost, therefore everyone is highly individualistic, concretized and suffering in his own concrete. Suffocating life is on account of excessive individuality, which results in non-inclination to relate to others, to communicate with others. Many people are so individualistic that they do not communicate. High individuality. Communication is a problem to them. They can't even look at the other and smile and say hello, hi, how are you? Each one is in his own prison and walks like a prisoner amidst hundreds of people. Why is it happening? We expect others to say hello to us, but we don't say hello to the others first. Isn't it? This is being imprisoned by the Leonine energies. Leo has, in every sign there are very divine energies and then there are very diabolic energies in the same sign. Depends on your quality. So you tend to be very individualistic if you do not retain the unity and the brotherhood. The unity of the soul and the brotherhood of beings is a reality only when you relate to that, and that exists as all this. Isn't it? That exists as all this. So when you forget that, you are individual pieces, fragments, unconnected. So it results in Leo individuality, and then it is followed by Virgo intellect, strong intellect. The story of rabbit, which I said as well. Very strong intellect. What I say is right, everything else is wrong. What I know is right, what others know is wrong. That's the danger in Virgo, intellectuality. With all this pride of individuality and intellectuality, in Libra, he sinks into varieties of passions. Libra is the midnight hour. So to avoid the dangers that follow you in the next 3 months, through energy, in Cancer itself you are given the needed light. Needed light. It is keeping the teacher with you. He is like walking with light in a forest, in the dark night. The light of the teacher with you. When you enter into a dark forest in the night, you still find the way. That's why in Cancer, you have the constellation called Tishya or Pushya, whose tail ends in Scorpio. From Cancer to Scorpio, there is a dragon, a great serpent. So you fall into the mouth of the serpent if you do not take the help of wisdom to move forward. That's how spiritual astrology gives us the dimensions. Don't think spiritual astrology means what only Master K has written. Master K has given certain dimensions relating to astrology which lead you to realize soul. But when you are when you relate to soul, the soul reveals much more than what the book can reveal. The books are written standing in the energy of the soul. But not all can come into the books. At different times it comes out in different ways. Wisdom expresses itself according to the inclination of the listeners or aspirants. So therefore, to avoid this dragon, whose mouth is in Scorpio as a Cancer and whose tail is in Scorpio, it is called Tishya. It is also called Aslesha. You know Aslesha? In the earlier solstices I spoke to you about our revisit into Cancer as Punarvasu. Then when you take to the wisdom, when you relate to the light in the head, it is Pushyami. If you don't relate to the light in the head, you fall into the dragon, which is Aslesha. These are the constellations. They were explained in the earlier. Teachings have their own continuity, and we need to hold on to them. So to avoid this danger of falling into individualities, concretized intellect and passion of the following 3 months of the second quarter of the year, a caution is given in Cancer itself. Because you are entering into the world. Each time you miss the opportunity, you fall into it, you tend to be more and more strong personalities. Very strong personalities. Realizing the soul becomes difficult when you are suffocated by your own personality. But another dimension with which I close this teaching is, when you know you are getting into a world of material, a world of change, a world of mortality, even before you step in, you shall have to carry the knowledge of immortality. Even when you enter into the hall, you should know where the exit is. If you don't know the exit and enter into anything, what is the fate? Death is the fate. Isn't it? We have entered into this body and we don't know how to exit from it. Each time we enter into this hall, we exit. When we have commenced the group life on Friday evening, we thoroughly knew how to get out intermittently. After every session we go out and we come back, isn't it? When you get in, if people tell you there is no exit from this room, do you enter? If you enter on Friday evening, only on Monday afternoon you will be exiting. Is it convenient? How do you manage your night on Friday night? And how do you manage your Saturday and Sunday? You need to manage 3 nights and 2 days or 3 days. You won't accept it. As you enter, when you do not know the exit, common sense tells us not to enter into it. In Delhi, they built a structure in New Delhi. It is called Jantar Mantar. Jantar Mantar is a distortion of the original sounds of Yantra and Mantra. Yantra becomes Jantra, Jantra has become Jantar. Mantra has become Mantar, Jantar Mantar they call it. Those who call it Jantar Mantar do not know what really it means. That's another one aspect. Another aspect is if you enter into it without a guide, you cannot exit from it. It's a visit. It is a tourist spot in New Delhi, Jantar Mantar. If you enter without a guide, you cannot exit. Out of pride, many people enter, then they get stuck. Therefore, guides also are inside the Jantar Mantar. They set the guides inside the Jantar Mantar so that if someone feels, I cannot no more get out, you kindly help me, the guide takes him out. What a beautiful spiritual concept. We have all entered into the bodies and they are like Jantar Mantar. We don't know how to come out of it. Therefore, within Jantar Mantar there are guides who can lead you out. That is the major teaching in the recent century by the masters of wisdom. The major teaching that has come through either Bailey or Master CVV is transcendence, immortality, building the body of light. Building the body of light. Finding the way out from the body. When the time comes to depart, when you do not know from which door to depart, you know how horrible the situation would be. Once I should narrate that also. There is an episode in Mahabhagavata, in Srimad Bhagavata, how a man who entered with all confidence did not find the exit, and how he had to run from pillar to post to find the exit route, and how he was almost on the point of being unconscious, and how he was helped out. It is called the story of citizen. Literally the name of the person is citizen. Puranjana, citizen. City is the body. It is a city with 9 folds and 9 orifices. It's a 9-layered body of nature with 9 orifices in it. And you have entered unconsciously and you can't exit consciously unless you know a science by which you can come out. So that science you should know even before you enter. Then only it can be called a house. 4th house. This 4th house seems to be carrying so many dimensions. You can't build a house without an exit. It only has entrance but no exit. Exit is as important as entrance. in gang and house gang, Yantrada, Salida, Lopalako, Velupalako, Telugu, in and out. This knowledge, if you gain while you have entered, one thing is inevitable, we have entered in Cancer, isn't it? So having entered into Cancer, we should take the knowledge of exit so that we exit well in Capricorn. I will give you another dimension. Every morning you enter into life. Every evening during sleep hours you exit. You exit every night from this world. How are you exiting? We don't know, isn't it? So we have to sleep consciously. Where are we moving in the name of sleep? Where are we moving in the name of sleep? Again in the morning we arrive. Every evening we depart. Evening means when we sleep. That is our evening. As we sleep we depart. As we wake up we enter. Where are we in between? Did we ever think of it? We take everything for granted. We take wake up as granted, sleep as granted. When you don't get sleep, you are already disturbed, isn't it? When you get up early, you are disturbed. One thing which we have mastered is to get disturbed for every simple and silly thing. For every simple and silly thing, we get disturbed. This is our civilization. This is our modernization. That apart, every night make an experiment. Make an experiment. Where would you like to move? Every one of us would like to move to an ashram of a master. The master whom you like most. To his ashram you would like to go. Why don't you propose that in your sleep? Think of that master. Pray to that master. Master, lead me unto your ashram during the hours of sleep. Make me your student. Let me learn in my sleep hours. Let me not waste away. Anyway, the whole day is wasted. Since we cannot waste the hours of sleep, at least during the hours of sleep we offer ourselves to the Master. All these prayers are there, they are given. Take to your respiration, go to pulsation, move with pulsation up to your brow center. Up to that you have to practice before you fall asleep. Take to respiration. Anyway, it is there. If it is not there, there is no story. It is there. Respiration is there. Sometimes we recognize that it is there, but it is always there. Take to it, go to pulsation. You may not be able to go in the initial stages. You may sleep. At least imagine pulsation as the basis of respiration. Further imagine that this pulsation, like a bird, with the help of Udana Vayu, Udana Prana, moving upwards and reaching the brow center. While you reach there, then you say, from here I seek the blessing of my master to go to the ashram. Wait there, then sleep. This practice is suggested by Master Jwalpur in his teachings. Don't sleep vaguely. Do not sleep vaguely. Do not worry about sleep. I may not get sleep, I may not get sleep. When will the sleep come? When will the sleep come? If you worry, the sleep is postponed. Sleep comes when it decides, when nature decides. Sleep is in the hands of nature. Don't think it is in your hands. If nature decides, you sleep even in the chair. If nature decides, you sleep even in the class. Isn't it? Nature tells you to eat a piece of bread more than normal. And you eat not only a piece of bread but also a piece of butter with it. That is nature's plan. So you come here to the class and sleep away. Sleep is given by nature, sleep is taken by nature, sleep is in the hands of nature, not in our hands. So therefore, let sleep come when it comes. In the meanwhile, I will make this journey up to my bro center. I wait there thinking about my master. When sleep comes, let it come. If sleep does not come, you are with the master in your thought. No, we are disturbed. Tomorrow we have to attend to prayer. It is already noon, midnight hour. I am not getting sleep. How do I go about it? And I have to share bathroom with others. All this problem. We get all these thoughts for nothing. Instead, we can think of the master. Think of the master. Thinking of the master at your forehead, which is your royal throne. This is called royal throne. The forehead is the royal throne. The heart is the lion's throne. The king of animals is here. The king of men is at the forehead. Excellently named by the scriptures. This is called Simhasana, meaning the throne of the lion. Simha means lion. The lion among men is one thing, the king among men is another thing. So we have a lion man as one avatar, and a man on throne in another avatar. So they get to the royal throne, and there you wait for the king of your life, that's the master. If you regularly go and sleep there, sleep there means while being on the bed, with your awareness you move there, stay there and relate to the master. Imagine the beauty of the master's ashram, and in that thought process, if you get to sleep, you have at least done one duty well, that you have done the pre-sleep duty exceedingly well. Pre-sleep duty. If you do that regularly, many things would be open to you, including the exit door. You get familiarized with the exit door. This is the royal exit, please remember. We should exit like kings, isn't it? The royal exit is through the head, through any of the orifices through the head. Other orifices are not considered auspicious or qualitative. Therefore, prepare the exit as you enter through Cancer. The whole discipleship culminates into a royal exiting. Live like a king. Live like a king. Live like a king. Live like a king. Let that be the theme. And all wisdom is oriented initially for that. And in the second step, joining the Father. Both are assisted by Jupiter. Jupiter assists you in transcendence from death and in self-realization. And hence, in the solar year, for the first time, we meet Jupiter in Cancer as well. And the culmination of the solar year is in Pisces, where again the Lord is Jupiter. Culmination of the solar year is in Pisces, isn't it? Who is the Lord of Pisces? Jupiter. You start with Jupiter, you end with Jupiter. What an energy it is. What an energy it is. And that Jupiter in Sanskrit is called Guru or teacher. He is the teacher. All teachers are but his representatives. The true teacher is that. Therefore, he is the Guru Brahma, Guru Vishnu, Guru Devo Maheshwara. The teacher relates to you as first Logos, as second Logos, as third Logos, and also as the Absolute. He shows all dimensions in him. He is Brahman himself. According to your purposes, he appears as will. He appears as love knowledge. He appears as intelligent action. He demonstrates all the qualities of the three Logos and beyond. And he is very motherly. That's the beauty with him. He is not only fatherly, he is also motherly. In the sense, he has tremendous compassion and leads you by his little finger. He is willing. Out of our individuality, we may not hold the finger because we think we can walk. Yes, we can walk, tumble, and slowly learn. It is better to walk with the guide. Until you learn how to walk, let there be a guide to enable you to walk. It is with this understanding the nature arranged the hierarchy. And it's a great blessing that there is a hierarchy, and that hierarchy is revealed to us through their own representatives. If you had gone back to the era before Blavatsky, the hierarchy is not known in the West. Not known in the West. Now there is a facility opened, and we all like the beauty of the masters of wisdom. And we would like to follow them. Let us follow the teachings, thereby follow them. Let it happen to all of us. Let us walk together. Let us take to initiations groupally. That is what is intended in the Aquarian age. Let it not be a rat race for initiation. Let it be a groupal initiation. Let there be no thought that I shall be the first. Let us all have it together. Let that be the understanding. Aquarian age, the blessings are to the groups, not to individuals. It is by lot. It is by lot humans are picked up, not one by one. One by one is loss of time now. Takes time. So take a group together and lift it up. Let it be so with all the followers of the hierarchy. Thank you for your patient listening. Yes, listening also requires patience. And when it is, especially when it is beyond time, That patience is helpful to me and to you also. Helpful to me because you are listening. Helpful to you because you are listening. So let it benefit. Let it benefit. Let us have the shower of the blessings of the Master till we reach Pisces. The story is beautiful. The story of the solar year itself is very beautiful. Sunshine by sunshine, you have so many dimensions of life experience. Thank you, one and all. Thank you. Namaskar.